Hello, welcome to Dee Dee's Dolly Den. This is Denise, and I have Christopher with me today. We're going to dress him for Copycat Friday. I was going to do Aubrey, but Aubrey's been making a lot of camera time, so we're going to switch it up and use a baby we haven't for a little while. So that is going to be Christopher. So my intentions is to get him dressed today and get him going for the day. Um, I thought I was going to have a bunch of errands to run today to find out I get to end up having an enjoyable stay at home day. So I'll take it. I was supposed to go with my kids, my oldest son, to go help them buy a car today. And I was stressing about them buying a car because they don't, they're already making one car payment and they're struggling. So they have changed their minds. And I'm glad they did because, to be honest, financially, I know they cannot pull it off. And I told them, don't be putting yourself in debt because it's no fun being in debt because your father and I are right there. We're pulling ourselves out of a hole ourselves. So we understand and we don't want our children to go through that. So I get to stay home after all. So I'm very happy about that. Sorry, this lighting in this room, you guys, is horrible. I am going to buy me a light ring, hopefully very soon. I've got to do something because the lighting is terrible. And I got to get new curtains in here. That is driving me up the wall. But anyway, today, sorry, Christopher's pajamas are all leaned over today, but we have his little Thomas the Train jammies on. We will be taking them off because it is cold here. It's like 53 degrees today, so it's cold and it's raining. But I'll take it. I've got my long sleeved hoodie on and I'm having my morning coffee right now. So it says, Love grows here. I love this cup. My daughter bought it for me. Anyway, I'm going to get Mr. Christopher ready. His curls, you guys. I can wet them down and comb them out, and all I do is go like this, and they come right back. So I absolutely love this little boy's hair. It's beautiful, and I just love him. I call him Dozer. He's my rough and tough boy, so he's Dozer, aren't you? You're my Dozer boy. Okay, so I'm gonna lay him down so we can get started, and I'll have to bring the camera down a little bit so you can see better. This tripod is awful too. I've got to get a new tripod. This tripod is not good. I don't like this tripod at all. It's just not good. Anyway, so today we're gonna put him in these cute little bib overalls. Aren't these super cute? They're very colorful. And I picked this out. Yes, it's got wording, but you're not going to be able to see the wording once we put those on him. And it says a little bitty heartbreaker on it. So we'll be putting that underneath. And then I have a pair of gray socks. And then we have our boots. So we will be wearing this today. So this is what we're going to do for Copycat Friday. I bought this little boy off of Etsy, and he was not weighted, and I knew that. I did weigh him, and boy, does he weigh awesome. I just love his weight. He turned out great on weight. And so I did weigh him, took him apart and weighed him, and the only thing I don't like is his body, because his body is different than my Anastasia's. So his body limbs doesn't move as well as hers does, and he can't set up as well as she does. So, and I've been looking for the body with the rings in it, and I have not found one because if I can find one, I want to switch it out like her body, and he would be just like her. And I love how she can sit on her own, and I can pack her on my hip, where this little guy is a little bit harder, but other than that, he's perfect for me. I love him, but I can deal with the body, so it's just something you deal with. Um, but I love my babies, and I've freaked a few people out because they thought that Mr. Christopher here was real. I've got to get a new boppy, guys. This used to be my son's boppy, so it's pretty worn out. I've got to get a new one. Um, but they've all thought he was real, and I've had to tell them, nope, he's a doll. But I did finally meet someone that's about an hour from me. We're going to meet up with one of our babies, and we're going to go have lunch together and probably do a little shopping or something. Not sure yet, but I do know we're going for lunch. I'm very, very excited about it because I've been looking for a, reborn doll mommy friend to hang with, and I finally found one not too far away from me. So we will be taking a baby with us and meeting up. I'm not sure which baby I'm going to take at this point, but it'll probably be one of the infants because I don't have a stroller yet for these guys. So, yeah, it'll more than likely be an infant. So I can pack her in her car seat. So that's the plan. I'm looking forward to it. I think we're planning somewhere around the beginning of October meeting up. And she's a younger than me mommy, but that's cool. I don't care about age. You can still be friends with young people. I have a lot of young friends. But now my older friends, I only have two my age. And they have their own lives and they don't get into dolls like I do. So, but I talk to them and they're my buds and we share a lot in common. And one of them I've been friends with since, well, we grew up together from babies on, and we're still really good friends. And she lives about 2 hours away from me or something like that. And then my other friend lives 7 minutes away from me. So she lives very close. And we do talk on the phone quite frequently. Um, so that's nice to have, we talk a lot. And I do go see her sometimes. But we met when I lived in Lancaster, but I lived out there for like 20 years, and it's a small farming community. It's not a big. But we moved here because we needed to be closer to the paramedics and ambulances for my son, and then we also outgrew the house. Yes, it was a 4-bedroom house, but it was a very, very tiny house. How in the world I raised as many kids in that house as I did, I don't know. But I had at one time, I had 6 teenagers in that house, plus the littler ones. How I did it, I don't know. I do not know. It is so tiny. Matter of fact, we outgrew it because of my son's equipment. We had wheelchairs and standers and, you know, we had monthly supplies coming in that I had nowhere to put because his closet was so tiny that we were packing them in his closet. When it got full, then it ended up back in my laundry room. So it was time to move. The house was outgrowing us, and we did buy this house, and I love this house. I just don't like this town. The location is I prefer to be back in Lancaster. I always grew up in small towns, and it's been, as long as I can get to a store and stuff, I'm cool. And driving 7 minutes into a store is not a big deal for me. So I do miss having my little house out there, and the yard was awesome, and my deck. I love to sit on my deck and have my coffee, especially in the fall time. It was so gorgeous. And then I could watch deer walk across my backyard, and I miss all that. Living in the city is a whole different ball game. Even though this is a small city, it's very, very small. But you've got nosy neighbors and people that start trouble with you here, and it's just not, we stick to ourselves. My husband and I are not troublemakers. We're quiet people. And my mom was living with me for a time, and her pug was going over in their yard. She was trying to stop it. He would run from her, and she's old. She can't chase him. And I didn't know. And if I knew, I wouldn't get him myself. But he would come over here and call her terrible names, Or if my son is outside, he's fighting with his neighbor on the other side of him right now. And they took something out of this neighbor's yard that meant a lot to them. They had a bird that passed away, and it was a parrot, and they love their bird. And they put a memorial stone out on their bird's grave, and that man went over there and took it out of their yard. And then he tried to blame it on my special needs son. Mind you, yes, I have a 22-year-old special needs son. He don't leave the yard. He's blind, you guys. He's blind. He doesn't leave our yard. He doesn't see well enough. And if Landon picked it up, he's also autistic. He would have dropped it. He wouldn't have, carried it over and disposed of it, because that's not how my son rolls. But to be honest, he doesn't leave our yard. And he doesn't touch my stuff outside. And so, I have statues and stuff in my yard, and he doesn't ever touch them. The only thing he did was knock over my bird bath and break it. But he doesn't touch the stuff. And if he did touch it, it would have been too heavy, so he would have dropped it right away. But it upset me because he was over there telling this neighbor that little black boy across the street took it. And it upset me, and I heard it. And I told him, I said, why don't you get your facts straight? My son isn't black. He's Asian Indian. And why don't you come over here and ask me about him instead of accusing him of stuff he didn't do? And so I do have a lot of problems with this neighbor. And he told me he was going to run me out of the neighborhood. And I'm like, I don't bother you, dude. I stay in my house. When I do sit outside, I'm on my patio. I'm not bothering you. You're the one that's starting the trouble with the neighbors, no one else. So now he doesn't bother me at all, because me and him has knocked heads. He doesn't talk to my husband like that. Not at all. He has a thing to mistreat women. And it's not cool. And I've had to call the cops on him a couple times because of it. And I did have to put no trespassing signs up in my yard because of him. But other than that, the rest of my neighbors here are amazing. We all stand outside and talk to each other and do all of that. But he is just like, I don't know what this man's problem is. He moved in like that. And they bought their house, so, I'm stuck with him as neighbors. And I'm not about to move because I have to have this house for my kiddos. It's just the way it is. And I've been here 10 years now. And he just moved in about maybe 3 years ago. And it's been problem after problem ever since then. And all the neighbors don't like him. Every one of them around here complain that he's done something or other to them. And I'm like, yeah, well, I just, you just get those neighbors that just have to make things hard on people. And he's one of them. I don't leave my yard, y'all. I don't go and nose in my people's business around here. I stay to myself. I run my errands and I get home, and I'm usually sitting in my yard having my coffee outside, or I'm in the house. Or I'm working around in my yard, or, stuff like that. We don't bother people. I don't know what his problem is. And my dog is too old, so he can't walk over into the yard anymore because he's 12, and he's got arthritis issues, so he pretty well sticks around the yard now. He doesn't leave. So he can't fight with me about my dog. He did with my mama. Sorry, guys, this camera is so making me mad. But anyway, enough of my neighbor problems. We all have them. Here is my beautiful little boy today. He's got his little work boots on. I don't have much other shoes but tennis shoes and dress shoes and sandals, so I decided the work boots my daughter picked them out while she was here this morning. She was taking care of she's one of my son's PCA, so she was here taking care of him. But she left, and she will be back because her husband is his other PCA. Here he is, all dressed. See, you can't see the wording at all because the bibs cover it, but I've been wanting to try these on. I bought these from Pat. I hit a sale, and I ended up getting them for $1.99. So I love these, and I've been wanting to put them on him. So today is the day. You can't even see the wording on his shirt, which is cool with me, which is what I wanted. They are a little bit big in the back, but maybe they will shrink when I wash them. But there it is. And how often, I have to ask you guys, how often do you wash? I'm going to lay him down a minute. How often do you wash your baby clothes? A lot of people say they don't wash them at all but once or once in a while to refresh them. To be honest, you guys, I play with my dolls every day. They're handled by me. They're handled by my grandkids. They're handled by, a lot of people. So I do wash my doll clothes as they wear them. The fading, I'm not worried about. I use baby soap, but if they do fade, and that's my cue to go buy new ones. That's how I am. And because if they're not faded and they don't look bad, I'll keep using them. And then I get bored with it. So in order to buy more clothes, why not wash them? I mean, I like them smelling fresh anyway because I love how babies smell in fresh, clean clothes. And so, yes, I do wash their clothes every week. I throw them in a hamper next to me when I'm dressing them. And then I take the hamper up and I wash them. So, but how often do you all do it? I know a lot of them just do it to refresh and some don't do it at all. But I did get some from someone that doesn't do it at all, and they had an odor, and I didn't like it, so I did wash them. They smelled. But I'm real picky about that. I like my babies to smell like babies. I like them to smell like baby powder, but I also like their clothes to smell like Drift. So I do wash their clothes. It's my thing, and I will continue doing it. So I'm happy that, and it gives me something to do. I wash their clothes, I fold them, I put them away. I really enjoy it. But I like the smell of them, you guys. But if I didn't handle my babies all the time, I wouldn't do it probably. But I hold them every day and pack them around. And then my grandkids come and pack them around. So with that said, we do change and wash their clothes every day. But I'm going to get off of here. This is not a very long video, but this is my copycat baby. I ordered him from Etsy, and by gosh, I'm going to order another one down the line. Isn't he cute? Look at his hair. It's so cute, and it just kinks right back up after I washed it or wetted it. So he's got beautiful hair, guys. I love his hair. I'm constantly tinkering with it during the day, and yes, there's my handsome little boy, and he's got his little blue binky. This is the one that came with him, but I did make him some. We have a Lion King here we use quite a bit. This is his. Oops. It does work, guys. It does work. I'm telling you. There it is. Except for his crooked. We don't have it sitting up there right, do we? But there's one of his binkers. And I have a Mickey Mouse one and a Paw Patrol one for him. But this was already attached, so we decided just to attach this. And I put it right here on the pocket. But that's my handsome little rough and tough boy. We call Dozer. You had a piece of lint in your hair there, dude. I had to get it out. It's driving me crazy. We call him Dozer. He is my rough and tough little boy. And we decided to rock out dinosaurs today on Copycat Friday. And I think we're a day early, but hey. Here we are. Handsome as can be. Anyway, I'm going to get off of here and get the rest of the babies up and dressed for the day. It is 54 degrees here, so they will all be in long sleeves. And they'll be rocking in style just like this little one today. So you all have a wonderful day. Live life to the fullest because you're never promised tomorrow. Bye.